It was Mother's Day 2020, but she was left home alone in isolation. No calls answered, no texts returned. Her husband said she went for a bike ride and never came back. Her bike was found, placed on the side of a ravine. Nothing about that scene made any sense. No blood, no signs of struggle, and no signs of her. Soon, her husband's story began to unravel. 3 years later, her bones were found in a shallow grave, and the evidence buried with them began to surface. He told police that his wife must have crashed during a morning bike ride or been attacked by a mountain lion. He said he had been working in Broomfield, hours away, but GPS records and call logs told a different story. Plus, her bike was found tossed off a dirt road on the side of a ravine. He had played middleman through his daughters, telling the neighbors to check the house, while continuing to press the idea of a morning bike ride gone wrong. By the time police arrived, key hours were gone. Then came the video, a 30-second Facebook plea.
I will do whatever it takes to get you back. Honey, I love you.
Off, disconnected. And behind the scenes, it became known that the couple's marriage had been crumbling. In Broomfield, his hotel room was left stinking of chlorine, soaked towels on the floor, and insurance papers in the trash. He had left shovels and hand tools in the lobby. Her husband was arrested in 2021, but the charges were dropped in 2022, lack of evidence. Then he sued everyone, a $15 million lawsuit. Now, 5 years later, the evidence haunts us. Her remains were found in a shallow grave in 2023, and the chemical BAM, an animal tranquilizer her husband admitted to owning, was later discovered in her bones. This is the story of Suzanne Morphew and what it takes to pull the truth from the grave. Barry Morphew, Suzanne's husband, reported that he had tried to reach her on May 10, 2020, but received no response. He claimed he was in Broomfield, Colorado for work. When their daughters couldn't contact Suzanne, Barry instructed them to ask neighbors to check on her. Eventually, he suggested that the neighbors call the police, mentioning that Suzanne might have gone for an early morning bike ride and had an accident. Word of Suzanne's disappearance spread rapidly. My team and I decided to assist in the search. We arrived in the area equipped with emergency medical kits and survival gear. However, we noticed the absence of organized search efforts or law enforcement presence, which struck us as unusual. Days later, we learned Suzanne's bicycle was found down on the side of a steep ravine off Chaffee County Road 225. Later, Barry Morphew released a brief video on Facebook pleading for Suzanne's return and offering a substantial reward. However, the video was met with skepticism. It was less than 30 seconds long, and the video lacked the ring of truth. In May of 2021, Barry was arrested and charged with Suzanne's murder. During the preliminary hearing, evidence emerged, including call logs, GPS data, and information about Barry's work in Broomfield. Notably, the construction work was not permitted on Sundays in Broomfield, yet Barry had told his crew he was going to begin work that day. Barry's employees reported that upon arriving at the hotel Sunday evening, they found the room smelling of chlorine and there were wet towels on the floor. Barry had left shovels and hand tools in the hotel lobby. The next morning, he called his crew and said that Suzanne was missing and he thought that she had been attacked by a mountain lion. The crew attempted to proceed with the job without bothering Barry, but they lacked the necessary tools and materials. One member of the crew, Jeff, stated that the whole thing seemed more like an alibi than an actual job. In April 2022, the prosecution dropped the charges against Barry without prejudice. They said they were waiting for more evidence. Barry promptly filed a $15 million lawsuit against prosecutors and investigators, alleging violations of his constitutional rights. In September 2023, Suzanne's remains were discovered in a shallow grave near Morphew, Colorado, approximately 45 miles from her home. The autopsy revealed the presence of BAM in her system. These substances are commonly used to sedate large animals and are not typically found in humans. Barry has previously admitted to owning BAM for deer. No new charges have been filed against Barry Morphew. His lawsuit was dismissed in September 2023, and he has filed an appeal. 5 years have passed since Suzanne Morphew was last seen alive. Her case remains a topic of national interest, with opinions divided among those who believe in Barry's innocence, those convinced of his guilt, and others who remain uncertain. I anticipate that he will face prosecution once his civil suit appeal is resolved. Justice for Suzanne will not be denied.